Winning case. That is a direct quote tonight from Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey over a new report involving Kim Gardner.
And that report details a litany of issues involving the former St. Louis City prosecutor. Gardner suddenly resigned in the spring as a legal battle grew with the AG, who was working to prove she wasn't doing her job. First Alert 4 investigator Susan Elcory is digging into that report tonight.
In 62 pages, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey lays out his case against former St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner.
But it wasn't until we actually got into the office and bore firsthand witness to the dysfunction, the decay, the lack of morale, that we could really add context and texture to that.
The report claims Gardner failed to prosecute cases and mishandled evidence, leading the courts to dismiss 2,735 criminal cases. Details a practice of dismissing and refiling cases, often delaying justice. The report also claims under Gardner's watch, prosecutors failed to properly notify crime victims, denying them a constitutional right.
We would have won the lawsuit because the evidence was so overwhelming. We had numerous judges, police officers, former employees of the Circuit Attorney's Office, victims.
The AG says Gardner broke state law. He says when Gardner was on the clock for the city, she was also taking advanced nursing classes at St. Louis University, even doing clinical work at a health center.
Why are you not moving forward with possible criminal charges against Kim Gardner for either waste or abuse of taxpayer money?
Well, I think there's many lines of liability for her that exist today that can be pursued. Number one, she's got issues with professional responsibility. Those are going to be up to the judiciary to determine if her license should remain in place. And certainly her attending nursing courses on the public time when the public's paying her to do a job that she's unlawfully refusing to do. That could be a criminal issue as well.
Gardner quit abruptly in May, telling the governor her resignation was effective immediately. Bailey doesn't think the timing was a coincidence. He claims Gardner quit hours before a critical court hearing in his case against her, where the judge would have decided if Gardner would have had to provide documents about her office, her nursing classes, and whether or not she could have been questioned under oath.
She hit the eject button at the precise time to deprive us access to the evidence. But the evidence is still out there. The city has thousands of documents that it's in their power and control to turn those over, and we'll continue to pursue that.
Are you saying there could be a possibility of criminal charges down the line?
Absolutely. Again, she deprived the public of access to the necessary information upon which to make those decisions.
Susan Elcory reporting there. Well, in the report, the AG makes several recommendations for lawmakers to prevent something like this from happening again. He said